Hi, America. I was trying to do something, but the thought of you came across my mind, and I thought I should come and say something to you. You know, Latinos, Mexicans, and other groups who voted against their own best interests, trusting Trump, believing in Trump, only to find out that they made a terrible mistake. And yes, we blacks knew the score, and we did everything we possibly could in order to inform them. And not only that, we had a black woman and a white man who had some decency about them to run for office, and they indicated what they represented. And their truths were not as dynamic as Trump's lies. But the thing that made Trump's lies so significant is the people. You see, the people were ignorant or stupid. But you have to realize, again, that they weren't born ignorant. They weren't born stupid. They were trained to be ignorant and stupid. And wherever they come from, they came to America where white supremacy seemed to be the score. At least that's the way American actions in life daily takes place. And so they just were drawn to what they thought would be better for them, being indoctrinated, being taught the way to act here in America, who to respond to and who not to respond to. And so when they had to make a choice between Donald Trump's promises and Ms. Harris' promises, they chose to go with Trump. Now, Trump slapped them in the face. They are screaming and crying and hollering. And I can feel that black people feel that they were slapped in the face by these individuals who could not see Ms. Harris's plans. It made it appear as if they were just against black people. And I guess when you look at their votes, they were against black people. But that's what they were trained to be, against black people. And they feel the results. But I don't want we as black people laughing. You know, I know some people might feel that you have earned that laughter. But the truth of the matter is, when you think about white supremacy and what it has done to we, the black people, now it has taught us the truth about what is happening here. But we are still as blind as those Latinos and people who have found out that Donald Trump lied to them. You see, what I'm trying to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that we, like those others who were indoctrinated and lied to, we have been indoctrinated and lied to. And they are just learning the pain and suffering of the lies. We've always known the pain of the lies, but we're still in it. We're still wallowing in the pains of the lies. Why? Because no one is telling us the truth. We don't know the truth. Even if we were told the truth, we would disregard it because it's against our indoctrination. You see, wherever success, whatever we might think that we have come, whatever progress we think we have made, we have not realized the truth. The truth about where the power is. The power is not in government of men. The power is in something else. And we, the people, are responsible for being an expression of that power. And if we don't know that power, we can't be an expression of the power. So the power that we know is the power of white supremacy. And we have our hopes. And we think that in time we'll be able to legislate it. We think that there will come a time when the law will protect us. We should have learned from the 60s up. You know, a lot of people might not be alive from the 50s. Well, I am. But just the same, we should have learned from Dr. King. We should have learned from Malcolm X. We should have learned from Edgar Evans. We should have learned from all those people who gave their lives. We should have learned from it. But we haven't. We haven't learned anything. We know that what will happen if you stand up. But that is not teaching us the way to live. That is not teaching us the road and the path to life. What we needed was an understanding of the power that we can't physically lay our eyes on. Not white man, not white supremacy, not Americans, but the truth. The truth is, my friends, that God is a power, the real power. And I'm not talking about a God that does this for some and a God that we're familiar with that God. That God is responsible for white supremacy. But I'm talking about a God that is obligated to every human being on the face of the earth. That's the kind of God I'm talking about. I'm talking about the God that resolves the problems, tells you the truth, and you're not indoctrinated. The God that requires that you love one another, that you care about your neighbor like you care about yourself. See, that's what that God teaches you. If you cared about one another like you care about yourself, nobody can mess over us like they do. But we have been indoctrinated to hate. We have been indoctrinated to even go against one another, black against black. Oh, well, white people too, Italians too. Everybody's been indoctrinated to that degree. But I'm talking about a solution. The solution is not laughing at somebody else, putting them down, think, what's going to happen? The next election, if you can survive to the next election, what do you think the difference is going to be? It will still be the same. The outcome will still be the same. We'll still be wallowing in mud, trying to figure out our way out. I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what you don't believe is that there is a God, a really spiritual God that is responsible for our existence and has made it possible so that we can live without the pain, without the suffering. There is a God that has made it possible for us to live without deception, without lies, hatred, and racism. There's a God that is responsible for that. But in order for that to happen, we have to care about one another. And we cannot care about one another living in a world where you're indoctrinated to hate each other unless you put your eyes on God. Understand God. Understand the creator of the universe. Understand that, and then maybe it will be possible for you to understand that in that creation was some other people other than you. And those people, being human beings, got the same needs, wants, and desires as you do. They require the same thing for a satisfied life: food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, transportation, just like you do. But see, the world can't tell you that. The world can't tell you how to accomplish that because the world has another motivation. And that motivation is not God. That motivation is them. And they come up with a system called capitalism that allows them to come up with money and stuff like this and rob you of the resources that came from God free that you make. And they just rip you off and buy people to exploit you, continuously exploit you. And getting into Congress talking about what we're going to do this and what are we going to do, that's not going to change but a little bit. For instance, Donald Trump is a cancer. What do you do with a cancer? Cancer kills you. What do you do with it? You go to the doctor to try to get rid of it. But if they can't get rid of it, they treat you, it doesn't go away, it's still going to kill you. That is the truth. And with a president like Donald Trump, he is a cancer. And his purpose is to destroy us. And we dealing with the way we do, talking about what are the Democrats doing and what the Democrats going to do. We're talking about a treatment that allows that cancer to continue. And if that cancer isn't removed from our society, then that cancer will kill us or put us in a position that we're so weak and so sick that we might not ever survive. So anybody that was caring about one another, who would be caring about God's plan benefiting we the people on this earth, there's nowhere in the world we'd let Donald Trump stay in office. Today, Donald Trump is running around in office a crook, a low-down, dirty crook, doing everything he's been doing all the time and lying his ass off. And everybody listening to it, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to believe. They just are lost. All of us, when I say they, all of us are just lost. The Latinos and the Mexicans and people that you've been laughing at, they're just as lost. We as black people, we're just as lost. We're not getting the freedom to be alive, to do what God has made us to do, so we can be joyous in this life, have our peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and happiness and live our dreams. So until we can do that, we can't laugh. We look just as stupid as the people we're laughing at. Don't you know that when you consider what kind of lifestyle we've been having and what we're even reaching out for is so much shorter than what we can have. So what can we laugh about? No, my friends, that's a trick as well. And we all been tricked. And I tell you this, I'm not going to knock people going to church. Go to church. But if you want to know about life and living and enjoying life here in your bodies on this earth this time, as if you're in heaven, you got to come out of the church because they're not going to tell you. So where do you go? You go where those people are telling you that the government and other folks are trying to kill because they don't want you to know the truth. and you follow the truth. I don't care who they killed, how many they killed. You follow the truth unless you want to be what you are and stay that way. That's not good enough for some. That's not good enough for me. So I take this opportunity to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what I've just shared with you, because you mean that much to me. I'm tired of you suffering. I'm tired of suffering. When that plane went down yesterday, excuse me, that helicopter went down as well, all those people were destroyed. That was like my brothers and sisters. I mean, that broke my heart. And I know when you put people in power, I'm not saying that's what happened, but when you put people in power to look after stuff who don't know what the hell they're doing, stuff like that happens. But if you care about people, you would not do that. You'd make sure that the best protection out there that can, and it could have nothing to do with color. It has to do with caring, compassion, empathy, and love. That's what it's all about. And if you can't do that, I'm telling you, the truth of the matter is there's no telling what's going to happen to you. Any and everything. I heard one time there was some people that couldn't get it together and a flood came and wiped them out. I don't want that to happen to you, but I'm telling you, if you can't straighten up, do you think you deserve anything better than that? Answer that question. If you can't straighten up and be righteous and love one another, do you think you deserve anything better than the hell that you're going through? And I'm not talking about looking for somebody else to represent you. Yes, you like that. But the only way you're going to get somebody else to represent you in a righteous way is that you got to represent yourself in a righteous way. And you're not going to stand for anything else other than being represented in a righteous way. Now, can you smoke that? Let me see.